Welcome to this week's Patreon upload. So it may be that you get a couple of uploads this week. I'll see how I go for time. But this first one is going to be a shorter sequence. So the last couple of uploads I've done have been 75-minute, kind of longer sequences. And I know that that can be difficult to fit in sometimes when you're at home. You tend to not have quite so much time. Sometimes we can look for a shorter class. So this one I'm going to keep much shorter, and it's literally going to be kind of a wake-up class. And it might be a kind of wake up in the morning class, or it might be a wake up the body when you've been sat in work all day. But just a little bit of movement, a little bit of stretch out, just to help you to get rid of any tension that you might be feeling in your body, and just kind of stretch yourself out a little bit. So we're going to start from standing. So if you come through to the front of your mat, so just coming to stand at the front edge of your mat, feet just slightly apart, pick up the toes, find a little bit of space between them, place them back down on the mat. Let the crown of the head lift, shoulders nice and relaxed, and then just close your eyes. Bringing the attention through to the breath. Now we're not going to be here too long. Just a few moments to start to centre the awareness on the breath. Nice gentle breath in and out of the nose. So just take one more round of breath here. And then following your next exhale, drop the chin down toward your chest, float open the eyes and raise the gaze. Okay, so we're going to intertwine the fingers, turn the palms away from you and reach the arms up overhead. Press up through the palms, ground into the feet, find some length, and as you exhale, just gently tip over to your right. Couple of breaths just getting into the side body. If you can hear that, that's the cat. Inhale back up through to centre, exhale over to the left. It's usually Neo that's joining us, but see today it seems to be Tilly. Inhale, come back through to upright, and then as you exhale, clasp your hands behind your back. So I'm just going to move back for some space. Roll the shoulders back and down, draw your shoulder blades towards each other, little lift up through the heart, and then as you exhale, bend the knees and just gently fold forwards. Let the head drop down towards the floor. Just gently getting into the shoulders, the backs of the legs. You might just give the head a little bit of a nod, yes and no. Couple of breaths. And then keep the knees nice and soft, and as you inhale, bring yourself back through to upright. Just release the shoulders, roll them back a couple of times. And then bring the hands to the waist, and as you inhale, lift your right leg up in front of you. So just a couple of breaths, drawing the right thigh in towards the ribs, tailbone lengthens down. Nice strong standing leg. And then just soften the left knee and step the right foot back behind you. So just stepping back into a high lunge. Reach the arms up alongside the ears. Reach up through the crown of the head. Maybe just lift up through the heart a little bit. And then we're going to cactus the elbows. So take the elbows out wide. Only take the gaze up if you feel like you've got your balance. And then use your next in-breath, come out of the back bend, reach the arms back up alongside the ears, and let's step the right foot forwards again. Draw the right knee in towards the chest. And gently place the right foot back down on the mat. Sweep your arms back down alongside you, hands to the waist. Inhale, left leg lifts. Just a breath or two, drawing the left thigh in towards the ribs. And then soften the right knee. We'll step it back into that high lunge, nice and slowly if you can. Just moving with deliberation, moving with control. Just reaching up through the crown of the head, a little bit of lift up through the heart. And then let's cactus the arms wide. Maybe there's just a little bit more of a back bend. And then inhale, reach the arms back up, step that left leg forwards again, thigh in towards the chest. And as you exhale, place the left foot back down onto the mat. Take your hands behind you and either hold on to opposite elbows or come through to reverse prayer. Step your right foot back behind you, ground the right foot, lift up through the heart, soften the left knee as you exhale and fold forwards. So you can always keep the left knee bent if you wish. You can straighten the leg if it feels okay. Lengthen the left hip back behind you. Right hip draws forwards. Use your next inhale. Just find like a halfway lift. Release the hands. Your right hand will come to your left shin or the floor. And you're going to extend your left arm up towards the ceiling. Roll open through the left shoulder. So you've not got the shoulder rolling in. The palm is facing away from you. And you can take your gaze up if that feels okay. If it doesn't, just look down. Keep extending through the crown of the head. And then soften the left knee. Inhale, bring yourself back through to upright. Take your hands back behind you, back through to that reverse prayer. And then just pivot to face the back edge of your mat. Lengthen as you inhale. As you exhale again, soften the right knee. Fold forwards over your right leg. Left hip forwards, right hip back. Awareness of the breath. And then we'll soften the right knee. Find that halfway lift. Release the hands. Left hand to your shin, right shin or to the floor. And the right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. And again, roll open through the right shoulder. Keep drawing the left hip forwards, the right hip back. Again, if you don't want to look up, just look down. If you're wobbly, just keep looking down. And then bring the right hand back down to the mat. Soften the right knee. Inhale, come back through to upright. Pivot back to face the front edge of your mat and step your feet together. And then we'll vinyasa. Inhale, reach the arms up, bring the palms to touch. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, look up, find your halfway lift. As you exhale, step back through into your plank pose. So we're going to lower to the mat to a count of 5. So just nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the way down. Take the hands out wide, tented fingers. Inhale up through to cobra, and then as you exhale, come back down. Inhale, just ripple the spine up. Exhale back down. Couple more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. And then bring the hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. If you can, press up to plank, but otherwise just come up onto all fours. And then take your hips back for your downwards facing dog. And then just finding whatever movement you want to here. Pad out the feet. Just stretch out the back of the legs one at a time. And then take your feet a little wider than hip width. Use your in-breath, come up onto the balls of the feet. As you exhale, bend the knees, drop your hips down, your right hip down towards the mat. You might just have a little pulse there a couple of times. Inhale back through to your down dog, and then balls of the feet, and then hips over to the left. And again, maybe there's just a little bit of a pulse. Come back through centre. We're going to do that one more time each side. So over to the right, And just however much your hip comes down is up to you. You don't have to come all the way. And then bring it back, downwards facing dog. Walk your hands in towards your feet. Find your dangling forward bend. Let the crown of the head release down. Try and tip some weight into the front of the feet so you're not hanging back in the heels too much. And then release your arms, soften your knees and round your spine up through to standing. Head comes up last. And then again we'll just roll the shoulders back a couple of times. Okay, and then from here, just round the spine down again. So you come back into that forward bend and then walk it back into your downwards facing dog. From down dog, inhale, float your right leg up behind you, bend your right knee, stack your right hip on top of your left. And then square off the hips, draw your thigh through to your chest, come through to high plank, press the ground away from you. And gently step the right foot through between the hands. We're going to ground the left foot, Virabhadrasana 2 as you inhale. So just take a moment to ground through the feet, almost thinking about the thighs rolling away from each other. Extend out through the arms. And from here we're going to find a twist. So if you can, keep your left foot grounded. Bring your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Hands come through to prayer. Right elbow reaches up towards the ceiling and you can gaze up and beyond your right elbow if that feels okay. So if you want to lighten this, you either come onto the ball of the back foot or you drop the left knee down onto the mat. So find your choice, your best place for you to be here in this pose. Take one more breath. Use your next inhale. Come back up through Virabhadrasana 2. And then find your reverse warrior. Drop your left hand to your left thigh. Reach up through the right arm. Keep the bend in the right knee. Come back through Virabhadrasana 2. Straighten the right leg. We're just going to move into Trikonasana. So moving into the pose with a soft knee. Do you want to lock the knee out? Come straighten the leg once you're there if it feels okay. But if you have a tendency to hyperextend, keep that right knee soft. Take one more breath. Bend the right knee again. Come back up through Virabhadrasana 2. And then pivot on the ball of the left foot, hands to frame your right foot. You can go straight to down dog. Maybe sweep the right foot behind you for a one-legged plank. You could move through a one-legged vinyasa. And then move into your downwards facing dog. So there's a little bit of forward bending, a little bit of back bending, some side bending, a little bit of twisting, just a little bit of everything to open up the body after whatever it is that you've been doing. So inhale, float the left leg up, bend the left knee, stack your left hip on top of your right. Square off the hips, bring your left thigh in towards your chest, you're through to high plank, pressing the ground away from you. And we'll step the left foot through between the hands, ground the right foot, Virabhadrasana 2 as you inhale. Relax through the shoulders. Awareness of the breath. And then we'll find our twist. So again, your choice. You can keep the right foot grounded or you can choose to come onto the ball of the foot. We'll take the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Tendency here is for the hips to swing out to the left, so try and draw that left hip underneath you. Extend the crown of the head forwards. You can look up or you can look down, and your options are to come onto the ball of the back foot or to drop the right knee down onto the mat if you wish. Take one more breath. Use your next in-breath. Come back up through Virabhadrasana 2. Find your reverse warrior. So getting into the left side body. And then back through warrior 2. We'll straighten the left leg. Lengthen, soften the knee as you tip down for Trikonasana. Lengthening your left hip out towards the back edge of your mat. Crown of the head towards the front edge of your mat. Take one more breath. Soften the left knee. Inhale, come back through warrior 2, and then just lower your hands and turn to face the long edge of your mat. And I'm just going to whiz round so that I've not got my back to you. So turn your toes out, your heels in. Bring the hands to the heart, bend your knees, and we're just going to pulse here a little. So you might close the eyes, just gentle pulses up and down. And then we're just going to hold the pose, so stay down. Maybe you can come onto the balls of the feet. Maybe you just keep the heels down. And then drop the heels back down. One more breath here. And then use your inhale to straighten the legs. And then from there, just release the hands. Come over to your left, Skandasana. Couple of breaths. Maybe you want to keep the hands on the floor for support. Maybe you can bring the hands through to the heart center. We're going to move it over to the other side. You can drop your hands down if you wish to help you, or you can keep the hands lifted over to the right. And then just gently sit yourself down on your mat. You need your hands for support, just drop them down first. Bring your right foot in towards the groin. Keep the knees nice and wide. And lengthen on your in-breath. And as you exhale, we're folding forwards here. Maybe you can come up onto tented fingers. Each in-breath, we're looking for length. Flex the left foot, press out to the sole of the foot. And then use your next in-breath, walk the hands back in towards you. Now it's your choice, you can just swap this over, or you can come back through Skandasana, back over to the other side, and sit yourself down. Left foot in towards the groin, knees nice and wide. Always sit on a block if that's helpful for you. Lengthen as you inhale, as you exhale, fold forwards. Awareness of the breath. Let's take one more breath. And then use your next inhale. Bring yourself back through to upright. And we're just going to release out the legs. Bring your feet onto the floor. Feet wide, so it's almost like you're in Malasana. Can you come through to standing without using your hands? And if you need to use your hands, but come through to standing. Hands together at the front edge of your mat. Just take a moment to notice how you feel. And then use your next in-breath, sweep the arms up, bring the palms to touch, and as you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, look up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Step back through into your plank. So we're going to lower to the floor or to Chaturanga. Inhaling through up dog or cobra. Just hold that there just for a breath or two. And then as you exhale, hips up and back, downwards facing dog. And then from there, on your next out breath, bring your knees down onto your mat and sit back on your heels. We've got the toes tucked underneath. Take your left arm up alongside your ear, bend the elbow, drop the hand down between your shoulder blades. You can take your right hand to your left elbow and draw the left elbow back behind the head, or you can take your right hand behind you and see if you can hold on to your left fingers. Couple of breaths. And then release out the arms, or do the other side. Right arm lifts, bend the elbow, drop the hand between the shoulders. Again, either left hand to right elbow or left hand behind you. Just noticing the stretch, noticing how you feel. And then release out your arms. Bring the hands down in front of you, untuck the toes, just pad the tops of the feet on the mat. And then sit yourself back down on your heels. So that is your very quick kind of warm-up practice. If you have time, I would recommend that you take a Shavasana, even if it's just a really short one. But sometimes we can just need a little bit of a stretch out in the middle of our day, and maybe you just need to go and get on with what you're doing. So I hope you enjoyed this really short practice. There will be intermediate length practice to follow. So we'll maybe head for a 40-minute one next and try and head between the two time limits. All right, take care guys, see you next time, and thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to Patreon. See you soon. Bye.